if you did.
I have, and I think she's absolutely right. There wasn't a word that I would disagree with, and I really welcome the fact that we have not just a very senior politician, but a former Prime Minister saying what she said. I think for too long we have been asleep at the switch on China.
And so I noticed that Philip Hammond was writing about China this week as well. So we've two different views, if you like, on China. He was talking about giving primacy to trade and making sure that we understood the importance of doing business with China, despite the, I think in quotes, it was the background noise. My goodness, what a way to describe what's happening in Taiwan, in Hong Kong and the Uyghurs.
Exactly. I never thought that I would use this phrase about a fellow Conservative, but I would say that Philip Hammond is in danger of falling into what Lenin described as useful idiots territory, to describe the genocide of the Uyghurs, the increased hostility to Taiwan, and the increased aggression to our own freedoms through China's infiltration and influence campaign. To describe that as background noise is extraordinary.
I thought it was extraordinary. I'd be interested to hear what Asa has to say about this. What did you make of Philip Hammond's piece in China Daily?
So I'm very struck by his use of the language, calling for a return to business as usual, because and the background noise was a remarkable way of dismissing what we've seen over the years, the encroachment of freedoms in Hong Kong, all that's been going on in Xinjiang. It's almost like he doesn't want to try and understand why there is this response, why there are concerns expressed about China's aggressive authoritarianism.
I thought it was also interesting, is that he took us back to the Osborne period, and he said, George Osborne was the man who, really started this golden era between the UK and China. He was a bit sceptical, but then he realised the importance of it. Are you a bit concerned about the fact that George Osborne has influence in Downing Street now with Rishi Sunak in place?
So I think I can understand one aspect of this argument that he's alluding to, which is that China is a huge economy, a major trading partner. So obviously he's trying to say you can't completely pretend they're no longer there. We can't disappear them away as an inconvenience. We have to have some sort of dealings with them. But at the same time, yes, I think if I may point to then Liz Truss's speech, effectively what she's trying to sort of say is that, the lessons we've learned since we rolled out the red carpet in those years, and she was there in these red carpet, these banquets.
As was I from Northern Ireland,
Oh, you'll remember then how sort of almost grovellingly, cravenly pleased we were, wanting trying to woo them at any cost, to try and do more business, taking, the president for a pint at the local pub. I remember David Cameron was snapped.
I remember that.
And it was very, very matey. But at that point, it was like a blind eye was turned to what was happening on values, human rights and everything else. It was trade almost at any cost. But now, I think Liz is trying to effectively argue that, we can't be caught napping now. We were caught, we were asleep at the wheel with Russia. Putin warned us that he was eyeing up Ukraine. And now we're seeing, President Xi doing the same with, Taiwan. We've seen what they do in Hong Kong. They're turning their sights to Taiwan. We cannot fall asleep again. We have to be vigilant. It's a clarion call for action.
Yeah.